So what do you say to people who, because I know for me, when my grandmother passed away, makes me emotional talking about it to this day. But, I would almost beg her just to show me a sign, when I had some dark nights of the soul. It's like, please just show me that I'm not alone, or that, and I didn't really receive anything, and it was upsetting for me because we all want to know that there's something after life, right? And I do believe that, but what do you suggest to people who can't feel or can't sense or aren't getting the signs? Are there some things we can do? Meditation, you mentioned.
Yes, meditation, breath work. But I go back to remaining open to surprises, and maybe even like you mentioned, like trying to discover, I talk about the clairs. So clairvoyant, clairaudience, or senses. So maybe you know that you're more of a clairaudient, so you're focusing on hearing messages, or you're more of a clairvoyant, so you're focusing on receiving visions when you meditate. You can write down when you journal. That's also a way to connect with them as well. So the hint is always what you like, that you feel connected with yourself. For me, writing is one of them. So I would free write. Sometimes I journal and I start free writing, and I receive messages this way because I like writing, because I like reading. But it could be that you're more of a visual person, and when you close your eyes, you can see things, and so you work on that. But I actually think that I don't want to say like the most important sense, but I think that when you feel it, which is clairsentience, it's just feeling. It's the feeling that there is someone around you, guiding you, protecting you. And it's the difficult part of this one is you think there's nothing, because you don't see, you don't hear it, you're not receiving anything that's tangible, even though these things are not really tangible. But I guess the feeling is the one that's the strongest, because they work through feelings, they work through your emotions. So just keep practicing being in touch with your own feelings and understanding. I mean, I think the best way is when you have goosebumps. That's a feeling. That's
I get
a way that
goosebumps
they're
a lot.
showing. Yeah.
Ooh.
So you get it. Sometimes you think that you don't get it, but you do. It's just that perhaps you're looking at something else, expecting a specific thing to come up, and they're always there. It's just like
you're right.
tuning in the radio, the connection is there. You just have to tune into the right frequency.
Well, you helped me. I mean, we've done breathwork together where you've guided me. And, I remember my great aunt showed up, Johanna, who you kept seeing more than once. And that surprised me because, we were never that close just because she lived in Denmark. But to know that, wow, I have more guides than I actually thought, which is really amazing. And then once I remember the smell lily of the valley coming through in one of our sessions, and that was my grandmother's favorite scent. So you're right. We do get the signs. Sometimes maybe they don't show up when we want them. I can get really demanding sometimes. Show me a sign now. I need a sign. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe.
And also sometimes we think that the sign is going to be something huge.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just that smell. I used to get really like simple words like trust or believe, and I would the ego in me was like, I'm annoyed, I want more.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I needed. They are usually, I feel for me, they're usually simple, and they're sort of the same message on and on, like you're guided, you're loved. They just want us to know that we are not alone. And because we've been so conditioned to live separate from our spirit, that we are now working on deprogramming that conditioning collectively, not just individually. And for thousands and thousands of years, this is embedded in our consciousness. We've been unplugged, if you will. And now we're like on that journey towards remembering that we are connected, and this world is beyond the physical.
Yes, I love that. We have so much to talk about. I have questions for you around types of spirit guides. We've talked about loved ones who have passed on, which, I think a lot of people probably think about angels or, this sort of mystical type of guidance, but that doesn't necessarily resonate with me. So can you list some of the different guides that we might have?